Hello friends, it is Stasia and welcome back to my channel. Today we will be going over my December wrap-up. Honestly, I don't know how this is my last wrap-up of 2024, but I'm excited to get through these books nonetheless. I have quite a few of book mail that we're gonna go through, and then we're gonna go through my stats and then all of the books that I read in the order that I read them. Usually I feel like with my book mail haul, I usually have a lot more gifted than I do purchased, but I kind of went wild in December. I had a whole bunch of gift cards, so I used most of those for books. So we're gonna go through all of the books that I was gifted first, and then we'll go through all of the books that I bought myself. So these are all books that I was gifted in one way or another, whether it be from friends or family from Christmas time, publishers, authors, giveaways, anything like that will be in this pile. I will also say that for my haul, I won't have a lot to say because I don't really know anything about these books. So I'm gonna run through my haul pretty quickly. So the first book that I received was Accidentally Amy by Lynn Painter. I do believe that this was originally indie published, and then it got picked up by Berkeley, and then this is a republish, which I believe is longer than the original and possibly a different point of view or added a point of view. I'm not completely sure, but that's this. Then I got Caught on Camera. This is a sport romance, also holiday, I believe. I think it is taking place in a Christmas time, but yep. Then we got The Holiday Clause by Anne Einerson. This is obviously another holiday book. Grumpy billionaire falls for his best friend Sunshine's sister. Then I received both Things We Hide from the Light and Things We Left Behind, both by Lucy Score. This is the second and third book after Things We Never Got Over, which I already read and really enjoyed, so I'm excited for these two. Then I got The Split by Kit Frick, and this is a thriller. That's all I know about this one. Then I got Kill for Me, Kill for You by Steve Kavanaugh. I've seen this one a lot around in 2024, so I am hoping to get to this in the new year, but I will say that I've seen very mixed things about this one, and I have not read from this author before, so there's that. Then I received The Safari by Jacqueline Goldis, which is another thriller. That's all I know. Then I received Christmas Sweater Weather by Jacqueline Snow. This is obviously another holiday romance. I got The Ripple Effect by Maggie North. This doesn't come out until June, so I'll definitely be reading it closer to then. But this is a grumpy sunshine. And then the last book I received was Mark My Heart by Megan Collins. This comes out, I believe, in the middle of January. This is a thriller, and that's all I know about this one, but I am also hoping to read this one in the month of January. So those were all of the books that I received in one way or another. Now we will go ahead and go into the books that I bought myself. So the first book that I bought is 1,000 Broken Pieces by Tilly Cole. This is the second book after 1,000 Boy Kisses, which made me cry and I really enjoyed. So I am hoping to read this one soon. Then I got Ready or Not by Cara Bastone. This is Accidental Pregnancy, and that's about all I know about this. I definitely trusted Aylin and Rylan because they both told me that they love this book and they think I'll love this book, even though I don't really love the accidental pregnancy trope. They say it's great, so hopefully I'll get to this romance soon. Then I bought The Eyes Are the Best Part by Monica Kim. I believe this is a thriller horror, not exactly sure, but Rylan said that this was a lot of fun, and I did see this on a lot of people's favorites of the year, so I am excited. I will also say I got these two in a book shopping blog that I did during Bookmas, so I'll definitely leave that above and below if you would like to check that out. Then I got The Blue Hour by Paula Hawkins. I read The Girl on the Train a very long time ago, and really enjoyed it. And I picked this one up because I believe it's like an isolated thriller. Yeah, so it's an island with only one house, one inhabitant, and one way out. And I really like isolated thrillers, so I'm excited for this one. I haven't seen too much about it, but still very excited. Then I got Heartless by Elsie Silver. This is book 2 in Chestnut Springs, I believe is the name of the series. Yes, the first one is Heartless. Rylan gave me Heartless last year. She tabbed and annotated it and then gave it to me as a Christmas gift last year. I still haven't read it, but I think I will love it. So I went ahead and got the second book just for whenever I do read it. I will have the second book on hand, is the hope. The next thing I got was Stay and Good Boy, both by Elle Kennedy and Serena Bowen. This is their new series, the WAGs series. And yeah, these are hockey, and that's all about, I know, but they have pretty edges, and I'm excited. I love hockey. Romance. Then I got Uzumaki. This is a manga, but I heard really good things, so I'm very excited to jump into this one. Then the last 3 books that I got myself are the books that I chose and received from Book of the Month. And the first of that is Beautiful Ugly by Alice Feeney. I am going to be reading this in January for a reading vlog, so definitely be on the lookout for that. The next one I got is The Most Wonderful Crime of the Year by Allie Carter. I've heard amazing things about this one. I wish I got to it when it was Christmas, but I do believe that I can read it outside of Christmas because it is a, like, I believe a mystery rom-com. Yeah, so rivals to lovers, Christmas romance mystery. So I feel like it shouldn't be too bad if I read it outside of December. And then the last book that I got myself from Book of the Month is A Winter in New York by Josie Silver. I've heard amazing things about this author. Rylan says that she has cried to this author before, and the overall like tagline intrigued me because it says a young chef stumbles upon a family secret recipe that might lead her to the love and life she's been looking for. So very excited for that one as well. So that was a lot of books that I got in the month of December, but I have some rules set up for me for 2025 to hopefully cut down on the book buying. So if you would like to know more about those plans, I will leave my 2025 goals above and below. That is where I talk about it a little bit. So that's the haul. Now let's get into the actual wrap up. So I have my handy dandy paper here with all my information. In the month of December, I read a total of 9 books, and that came out to 2,477 pages. My genre breakdown was 8 romance and 1 thriller, and then my formats were 5 physical books and 4 ebooks, and then 4 audio mixed with one or the other format. So whether it was like audio and physical, audio and ebook, one of those, that was that. Now, let's go into the book in the order that I read them. So the first book that I read in December was The Mistletoe Bet by Marin Moore. I gave this book 4 out of 5 stars. This is a Christmas novella that follows Quinn and Parker. Quinn is kind of a Grinch now. She doesn't super love Christmas. When she comes back to their small town of, I believe it's called Strawberry Hollows, I believe. She returns for Christmas because her mom is basically begging her. She comes back and she's not really having a great time until she runs into her childhood crush and brother's best friend named Parker. And he is convinced that he can get Quinn to love Christmas again. So they make a bet that by the end of her trip there, she will end up loving Christmas again. And Parker is trying his hardest to do different things that will convince Quinn to love Christmas. Overall, I enjoyed it. It is definitely spicier than most novellas, I believe. But I do feel like it had a good balance between the actual plot and the romance. I do kind of wish that there was more adventures in it. I know it's a novella, but like the whole point of the like bet is to make Quinn love Christmas again. And in the beginning, I feel like there were parts where Parker was like, all right, this is what we're gonna do. Today we're gonna go visit this spot or do this and all of that stuff. And then that fizzled out very quick. So I wish that we seen more adventures, but overall it was a fun time. Then the next book that I read was Under Lock and Key by Lana Ferguson. This is my first book by the author. It was okay. I ended up giving this 3.5 stars. This is about Kiana and Lachlan. Lachlan has a curse, and when Kiana discovers the curse that Lachlan's family has, she is now trying to help him break the curse. So there's a lot of enemies. I would say more dislike, but like kind of enemies to lovers, Grump Sunshine, some forced proximity, and a lot of like curse talk. So it was okay. I don't know. Like I said, this was my first from the author, so I think I was just expecting something different, and I just thought it was really slow. It took me a very long time to get through. It didn't really hold my attention on that much, and in the end, I didn't really care whether or not the characters ended up together, so that's fine. 3.5 stars, not bad, just not for me. Not into the whole monster romance, I guess. The next book I read was the only thriller that I read this month, which was Good Bad Girl by Alice Feeney. I have an entire reading vlog on this book and my ranking all of Alice Feeney's books up until this book, which is her most recent release, until Beautiful Ugly comes out in the middle of January. So I gave this book 4 out of 5 stars. I did enjoy it. If you would like more thoughts, I'll link the vlog so you can go check that out. But this basically follows multiple point of views when there is a murder in a nursing home. I don't know if it's actually a nursing home, but someone is murdered in the nursing home, and then 3 or 4 women are all involved in different ways. They all cross paths, and you're kind of trying to figure out how all of their stories will intertwine. But pretty engaging and fun, so 4 stars for this. Then I read The Christmas Tree Farm by Lori Gilmore. This also has a reading vlog. My buddy read this with Aylin and Rylan. I will put my vlog above and below for you in the description as well if you would like more thoughts. I ended up giving this 2.5 stars. Not my favorite, but it's fine. This book follows Kira and Bennett. Kira is not a lover of Christmas. Her twin sister just got married and moved very far away. I never remember where she moved, but she moved to, like, I don't know, Iceland or something. I'm not sure. But she moves away, so Kira is trying to figure out her purpose and where she belongs. So she ends up buying a Christmas farm in Dream Harbor, which is a small town on the East Coast, I believe. Bennett was born and raised in Dream Harbor, but he now has a job in the city. He is back for Christmas just to sort of be with his sister and kind of just hang out home for the holiday sort of things. And he's very much like a fix-it man. He is a yes man 100% to the point where I feel like it's a fault. And they kind of just run into each other, and it's kind of following their story. Yeah, so 2.5 if you would like more thoughts. I have a vlog. The next book that I read was Pickleballers by, I'm not sure how to say it, Ilana Long. And this follows Meg and Ethan. I gave this book 3 stars. It was okay. So Meg is recently single, and her best friend has told her to try to pick up pickleball because it helps her get like her nerves and like life calm down, I guess, like give her a space to let feelings out. So Meg starts to play pickleball, and eventually she does fall in love with it. One day she's on a ferry and bumps into Ethan. They sort of have like a little meet cute, and then she goes on her merry way, thinks that she's never gonna see him again, until Ethan ends up being the head like environmental consultant that will essentially destroy the pickleball courts that Meg is currently playing on. So Meg is kind of in a battle between her heart and her head right now. She's just trying to figure out whether Ethan is serious and if it's worth pursuing. But yeah, so I gave it 3 stars. It was okay. I wasn't like super engaged. There were like a lot of interesting side characters that I did enjoy, but I just didn't, I don't know, it wasn't for me. I didn't love it, I didn't hate it, it was just like fine for me. I did like the ending and how everything ended up. I just felt like to get to the main point and meat of the book took a lot longer than I felt it should have, but that's all right. 3 stars. The next book I read was Any Trope But You by Victoria Levine. I gave this book 4.5 stars. This follows Margot and Forrest. Margot is a romance author, and she had her heart broken, so she's not fully convinced on love as a whole. So to kind of keep herself happy, she has a file just for her that is her happily never after files, which is basically what she thinks would happen in reality after her books end. She obviously wants to give her readers a happily ever after, but to make herself feel better, she kind of has like a realistic mindset where they potentially get divorced or there's fighting or whatever. So she has that file for herself, and then one day that file gets leaked and she gets canceled. She has no idea what to do, but her sister tells her that she needs to go to Alaska. Her sister books everything, so Margot is off to Alaska to try to decompress and also start a new book outside of the romance genre. She's going to Alaska to hopefully write her first murder mystery. When she first arrives there, it's not at all what she seems. It's not luxury at all. It is definitely like for people who enjoy like excursions and not glamping sort of thing. Like she has to make her own fire and that sort of vibe. And when she first shows up, she runs into Forrest, who is the owner's son. Literally runs into him, runs into his arms. And from there, they kind of have like a will they won't they sort of vibe. There's definitely the attraction, but for different reasons, they both are unsure on whether or not they want to pursue something. Like I said, gave this 4.5 stars. I really loved the growth between Margot and the growth between Forrest. I felt like they were both mature characters and I really understood where both of them were coming from, why they were both so hesitant. I felt like the beginning was a little slow. It got a bit repetitive on the will they won't they, but I feel like that also added to the tension of the book. But overall, it was a lot of fun. I did enjoy Margot and seeing her grow throughout her time in Alaska. Even though she wanted to go home, her sister and Forrest encouraged her to stay, go on these excursions, and you know, just learn more about how strong she really was. So I really loved Margot. I loved the support that Forrest gave her. Yeah, so there's that. The next book I read was Still My Heart by Laura Pavlov. I gave this book 5 stars. This is the first book in her new series coming out, and this follows Easton and Henley. So Easton is the, I don't know that he's the head of, he's not the head of the law firm, but he works at a law firm. He's very distinguished. Everyone knows who he is. He's definitely known for winning court cases and being who to go to if you would like to win a case, essentially. Henley is the firm owner's daughter. She had just graduated law school and her father put her at this firm to have Easton as a mentor. So this is definitely a workplace enemies to lovers romance. Easton doesn't love Henley at first. He doesn't understand her. He thinks that she was kind of just given everything, even though that's not the case, and Henley is very smart. She definitely made a name for herself. She studied very hard. Easton kind of jumps to conclusions and thinks that she's just there because her father owns the building. So he's not super open to getting to know her, but eventually he realizes that he was wrong about Henley, and Henley realizes that she may be too hard on Easton, and there is a reason why he is the way he is. So eventually they come to an understanding. The ball gets rolling and we all know where we end up after that. I really enjoyed Easton and I really enjoyed Henley. I felt like both characters were very well fleshed out, and I really couldn't help but root for them. Easton definitely had a hard pass, but I feel like Henley's patience with him, what he needed, and I feel like Easton's dedication to Henley was also what she needed. They both understood each other, and while there were some bumps in the road, they always figured it out in the end. So I really enjoyed that one. Then the next book I read was Christmas Cupid by Isla Madden Mills. This is a Christmas novella. Iris is kind of down on her luck, so her brother, whose name is Will, I believe, he offers her to go to a cabin for a couple days just to de-stress before she needs to go to her mom's house for Christmas. So she takes him up on it. So her and her dog go out to this cabin and see what's up. What she isn't expecting is her brother Will's best friend and teammate Kyler was also offered the cabin by her brother. So when she arrives, Kyler is already there and she's really confused. She's like, you shouldn't be here. The cabin was offered to me. You need to leave now. But of course, when that happens, a snowstorm blows in. So they both end up being stuck in this cabin. I gave this book 4 stars. I really enjoyed Kyler. I feel like Iris was a bit harsh in the beginning, and I understand that she was trying to protect herself, but I felt like she could have been not so harsh on Kyler because he was already having a hard time. But I did enjoy their later like understanding of each other, and I loved how patient Kyler was with her and how open they were. Obviously, they didn't know whether or not it would last past the cabin, so there is that like third act conflict that occurs, but since it's a novella, it got resolved very, very quickly. So I really liked seeing Kyler kind of grow up and realize that, you know, there's more to life than playing the game. And then I liked to see Iris eventually get the person that she deserved. So that was this. And then the last book that I read in the month of December was First Date Challenge by Wendy Million. And I also gave this 4 out of 5 stars. This is also a novella. This follows McKenna and Kai. McKenna is down on her luck. She's not very good at choosing men when it comes to dating. So her best friend challenges her to go on 10 dates from a like dating app, and she accepts it. She's like, all right. And while she is at the bar for her first or second date, she runs into Kai, who is a bartender there. Kai and McKenna instantly gravitate towards each other. Kai is very supportive, and McKenna likes that she kind of just found a friend who is a guy. She's never had that before, because she was in this very like long relationship that didn't end up working out. Obviously why she's going on these 10 dates. So she tells Kai about what she's doing, and they decide that all of her dates will be there at that bar that Kai works at, and then they will have a debrief after every date. Obviously, along the way, McKenna realizes that she has feelings for Kai, and Kai eventually has feelings for her. So they end up figuring out that after all of McKenna's dates, and that's that. So that is the last book that I read in December. If you watched my other videos, I said that I was going to read, or that I needed to finish a book before the new year. I admitted defeat, and House of Sky and Breath did not get finished in 2024, but that's all right. I'm going to bring it into 2025. I think I'm not even like a third of the way in. I think I'm probably maybe like 30 or so % in. That's about where I'm at right there. So I'm just gonna bring it into 2025, and hopefully this will be a January read, because I didn't want to rush myself through it and not enjoy it. So this, I admitted defeat, and she's coming with me into 2025, but that's all right. I just wanted to throw that in there so you guys weren't like, didn't she say that she needed to finish that by the end of the year, and then it wasn't in my wrap up. Hopefully this will be in January's wrap up. I do, like I said, just want to take my time with it. So just wanted to pop this in so you know where she went. That is all of the books that I accumulated and read in the month of December. I felt like it was a very successful month. I feel like 9 is a good number. I also got a lot of great new books that I'm very excited to read. So that is all from me. Feel free to share anything that you loved and read in December, or if you've read any of the books that I read or hauled, feel free to let me know if I should prioritize anything or anything like that. But like I said, that is all from me for today. So I hope you enjoyed, and I will see you in the next one. Bye!
My face